Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I'm your host, Angelina Wilson. Today, we're doing it on a Monday because tomorrow, the Deep Dark Truth podcast that I taped a couple of weeks ago will be coming out at noontime, and I did not want to have a video fighting with the podcast, or competing with. So I decided to do it today. And that way you have both Tuesday and Wednesday to enjoy the podcast. And I sure hope that you will. Oh, I also have another programming note. As soon as I get a guest, I have a promo swap with crime of the truest kind. They offered that to me on Instagram, on Kidmissing's Instagram. Check it out. Okay. Today, I'm going to talk about the case of Scott Andreas Andy Sims. Scott disappeared on December 9th, 1961. He was 11 years old, and he disappeared from Wichita Falls, Kansas. Okay, he disappeared in December in Wichita Falls, Kansas. It was cold. That's the first thing that pops into my head was, oh my gosh, cold. Because we're talking about the Plains states here. We're talking below zero. He was in the 5th grade at Jefferson Elementary School. He lived in a corner house in a quiet neighborhood. His mother was a nurse. His dad was in the National Guard. Andy was home between 12 and 12:30 when his mother called the house and talked to Donald, his brother. Donald reported that Andy left the house between 12:45 and 1 p.m. I think he went out to ride his bike or something. Oh, went out to play. When Mom returned home from work, 14:30, so I'm going to say it's about 4:30. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't have my uncle here to ask. Last week I could have asked him. He actually showed up in the middle of my show. Members of Andy's family searched for him. First, of course, Mom sent his brother Donald out because I think that's the first thing any parent does. Go find your brother, sister, whatever. You know, I don't think parents panic immediately. I think, like I said, I think that's common. They send out the sibling. One person reported seeing someone who matched Andy's description at the Boy Scout hut around 1500 hours the next day. Oh no, that day. So around 5 o'clock. Again, correct me if I'm wrong here. Andy's friends did tell police that they enjoyed playing in caves near Fairview Avenue. I don't know how far that was from their homes. They searched by land, air, everywhere. In 2008, a man named Steve Douglas, with 2 S's, who lives in Gahanna, Ohio, who is Andy's half-brother by his father, and is a retired policeman himself, traveled to Wichita Falls with his longtime colleague and friend Becky Wolf to see if they could learn about Andy's life and Andy's disappearance, since he never knew his brother. He was 49 years old at the time. This was in 2008 when they did this. He was born 2 years to the day after Andy went missing. So I'm guessing Mom and Dad split up, or were already split up. He doesn't hold out much hope of finding his brother, who would now be at that time a 58-year-old man. As a police officer, he finds it very difficult to believe that he simply wandered off and succumbed to the elements, and they didn't find a body. So he believes he was abducted. If something happened to Andy, if he fell or whatever, again, he believes he would probably have found him. Now, Fort Sill Civil Defense, Marine Reserves, members of the Sheriff's Mounted Patrol, and others also searched for Andy. This must have been one of the biggest searches in that area at the time, maybe even still, for a missing person. On December 13th, the Wednesday following Andy's disappearance, about 50 people covered a large area in an all-out but unsuccessful search. That's a direct quote from the Wichita Falls Record News. All out but unsuccessful. Donald Douglas Sr., his father, and Ellen Sims had married in their teens but divorced while the boys were very young. Steve learned as he delved into his family's past. He didn't expect to find a connection to the half-brother he never knew, but Andy soon became a member of his family. That's understandable. He saw a picture of his father as a child and looked at the one next to his own and photographs of Andy, and he sees striking similarities. So he and Andy both look a lot like their dad. When I was his age, we looked a lot alike, Douglas said. If you have any information about the disappearance of Scott Andreas Andy Sims, please call the Wichita Falls Police Department Detective Tony Fox at 940-761-7792. That is 940-761-7792. And that is Detective Tony Fox. We're also going to talk about the case of Sherry Lynn Marler. This is the second case we're going to do today. She disappeared on June 6, 1984 from Greenville, Alabama. She went into town with her dad, and when he was running an errand, he gave her a drink. No, he didn't give her. He gave her money to pick up a drink across the street. She never returned. To his utter horror, he is not a suspect. He even, a few days before he died, he told his wife, quote, "Betty, I wish I could go get Sherry and bring her home to you, but I can't, because I don't know where she is." He never could get over the loss of his daughter. She was reportedly seen by 3 people after her disappearance. She was sighted at a mall in New Orleans days before Christmas, supposedly. She was sighted a couple of different places. Sherry's mother, in, let me get the year here, 2010, actually opened up a restaurant in Sherry's honor. To keep her memory alive in Middletown, Alabama. And I actually got to talk to Sherry's mom. I believe I had Sherry's mom on my show. I am not sure whether that one got deleted or not when Blog Talk went on their deleting rampage. But I do remember speaking with her over the phone and talking about the restaurant, and she's just a really sweet lady, and I want to dedicate this to her. Her name BJ. You know what? I misread that. Her mother's name wasn't BJ. That was the other sighting. She was with a man called BJ. A trucker saw her. Truckers see a lot. And by the way, truckers also will carry posters of the missing, like, on the side of their truck. There's a whole long haul thing. And I wanted to let you know, if you want to get a hold of me, if you have a case you want me to help you with, to do a show on, whether it's a video or my podcast, get a hold of me directly or through Kidmissing's Facebook, Kidmissing's Instagram, anything like that, because I am not affiliated with anyone, not aware, not the other organization I once did a little bit of work for. I am my own entity. I just wanted to make that clear. If you have any information about the whereabouts of Sherrilyn Marler, you can call the Greenville Police Department Missing Persons Unit Detective Wink Fussell at 334-382-7461. 334-382-7641. Or you can contact NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, at 1-800-THE-LOST. Thank you so much for joining me. Please look out for the link tomorrow. I'm so excited. For The Boy in the Box on the Deep Dark Truth podcast. Thank you to Mo and her partners for doing that. Remember to mask up, MA. Get that shot when you can. Goodbye and God bless you.